Alright, so anyway, as you guys can clearly see, I've already completed the thing. I meant to do it, but I couldn't record for like forever. So I was just, it was itching because I needed the polychrome to get, I wanted to do more summons for Alice. This is gonna be kind of just a quick. I'm not gonna go through all of them. I'm just gonna do the last node on the Shiyu defense. This last one here, so you guys can kind of see. Basically, if you want to know, these are the two teams I was running the entire time, like from four onwards, because they all have the same like weaknesses. Don't pay attention to this. I didn't clear it with this. This record was not done with this. I just didn't have anywhere else to test this team. It's just like a super mega backup team. Like I have all these units and they don't go anywhere, so I just put them together. So this isn't the team. It's just the Jane one. Just I was messing around there. Anyway, but yeah, so I was really itching to summon. I was like, I wanted that polychrome so I could just send it, and I didn't want to wait till today. So yeah, here we are. We're 31 away, and this is soft pity, or not soft pity. This is 31 away from the 50-50, so I might still even lose this. Well, I'm obviously not going to get that. The point was that I might have still lost it. But I'll probably talk about this stuff later. This is just kind of me giving you guys an explanation of why you guys didn't get the first run. Let's go see here. Actually, we'll do this here. I need to change this over to plug blue. I might leave it like that, but we'll see. No, that's not what I want. I want to change this to snap. I might actually put this back to that police officer one, but we'll see. We'll go here and here. Yeah, let's see what happens. See if I can manage to not embarrass myself here. I've already fought them quite a few times. It's not that big a deal. So one of the things I want to point out is you're not going to see me doing the super special like mega tech against this guy, because this guy has like a stun lock you can do with Seth, where you just keep him constantly just stunned, right? Because he falls down every time he gets electro anomaly build up on him. But I don't have a Seth build for that, and he doesn't get enough anomaly from what I could tell. It's just regular playing, and it's not like it's that much of a difference anyway.
Found your weakness.
See, he gets up really fast. Like I have to basically. Oh wow. Basically, I'm just gonna start this over. You have to run Seth with probably like Rena or some other electric anomaly unit to get him constantly stunned. You might not have to. It's a 50. I saw the video, someone do it. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You can do that, but I really didn't care enough to like master it. It just didn't seem interesting to me. Though I guess if you really want to min-max your game, I think it's more efficient, right? Because basically the reason you do it is because you want to skip, you want to skip the, what's it called, phase? The miasma shield phase. And I think it actually is more efficient to do that.
Hit him where it hurts. Now, you're the prey. I'll make it painless. Found your weakness.
Come on! Don't be nervous!
Never count out upset.
A little bit extra damage in there.
Either works.
Put your hands up.
Hit him where it hurts. No escape.
I always like, I don't have the timing down for that whatsoever.
Found your weakness.
One of them gets me every time.
Want some more?
Now,
Here's
this
a
is
taste
inefficient
of
as
the
humanly
abyss.
possible. It's taking forever.
Let's make this quick. Hit him where it hurts. Wanna know what lurks in the dark?
Final warning.
That was terrible. What is that? 218? That was a terrible run. Whatever. I did this with a Lekbu. I'm using Snap just to see if he does anything interesting. So far I'm not super impressed, but I don't know. He might in the long run be better, but I don't know.
Increase firepower. Fine. Downside.
Man, I do not have the grouping here.
Right on cue.
Look at that, I missed one. Whatever, I'm not gonna go out back and restart it for this one guy.
Down static.
Ether vision activate. Sniper's Creed. One shot, one kill.
Right on cue. What you deserve. Now you pay. Watch out.
That stupid sound effect, the dropped lead pipe, is hilarious to me. I don't know why it's here.
Move it. Press the advantage.
Current overload. Time to wrap. Down strategy. Loyalty. Bye-bye, suckers. Get ready. Now you pay. Right on cue. What you deserve.
I did that for no reason. And I didn't even have a triple star ready.
Down strategy. Now you pay.
The target's exposed.
Dual electro-ending.
I don't know how long that one took me. I feel like that one's a lot faster, but we'll see. 409. 2 minutes away from that is 209. Minus 9 is 2 minutes. So that was 258 or something like that. So it ended up being a lot better. It didn't beat the records I have, but that's fine. The grouping I had on that first one, because one of the things is to do when you do speed runs for Shiyu Defense. The reason I got this time up here last time was because I got lucky with the grouping, and I got all of them together, so I just wiped them all out. So it's not luck; it's skill oriented. I'm not going to say you're lucky for doing that or whatever, but I know for me sometimes it ends up being luck. It's just that the clearing the mobs at the beginning ends up being a skill you have to learn a little bit. So I lost a lot of time because that guy was all off by himself over there, and it was just a waste of time, wasted resources too. Like I ended up EX specialing him or whatever, and I could have wasted on the boss. So either way, not that big a deal. So hopefully you guys can see this. One of the main thing, the main reason I'm here. This is funny too because like this is specifically built for me. This Shiyu Defense was built for my account. I am a electric and physical specialist, whatever that means. My account is specifically aim towards that. I like electric units. I like physical units. That's really all there is to it. It does make me weak in other areas. So for one, I don't have a lot of my third best coverage is obviously Aether, but I don't have a lot of Aether coverage anyway. I'm obviously missing complete ice coverage, and fire coverage is kind of handicapped by what's her name, Soldier 11. Like this is the best I have for fire damage, which obviously means I'm in a lot of trouble. But yeah, so in general, it's not too bad. Let's go look. So I got fire coverage, electric coverage, and ether coverage pretty solidly down. Fire coverage kind of sucks. Like I said, Soldier 11, she does her best, but there's not a whole lot she can do. And ice coverage is where I'm completely lacking. I have no ice units whatsoever. There's no interesting ice units. Like, well, we'll get to that in a second. But in terms of like, let's see, where are we? Obviously, she'd be good to cover more Aether. I don't like Zhu Yuan. I don't like Evelyn. I just don't like, you guys are going to find out right now, I don't like a lot of units. I just don't like half the roster in this game. I don't like Miyabi. I've said this before. I'm on record saying I just do not like Miyabi. I'm never going to pull for Miyabi. I don't care. They could give Miyabi a freaking Virgil skin and I'm not going to pull for her. Like, speaking of which, Hoyo, listen to me. You guys need to do a Devil May Cry crossover. I know you can do it. No. Oh, PGR did it. Okay, never mind. Well, PGR. Wua, you guys need to get on that Devil May Cry crossover. Like, I want Virgil in Wua. I don't care about PGR. I should actually play PGR at some point, but it's like, it's better to come into a game and kind of grow with the game, like Zenless. It's still relatively new. I don't know how long PGR's been out. I want to say it's been out several years, but trying to get into that after all these like systems have been built on top of each other is just not. It ain't it, Chief. And I just don't feel like learning all that stuff, so I'd rather grow with the game, right? So it's too late for me to go play PGR at this point. But yeah, I like the electric units. I don't know about Chingy. I don't really care. I don't like Harumasa. I didn't get him. One of the reasons is because I'm salty because I didn't get him when he was free because I wasn't here at the time. But I like one of my favorite units is Yanagi, even though I don't have her, and I'm not going to pull for her. I do like Grace. I do like all the lightning units. The fire units, I don't really like Bernice. I don't really like Kaleda. Like I said, I don't like Evelyn. Physical, I don't like Nekomata, but it doesn't matter because it's enough physical to not care about Nekomata. And then again, the ice units. I don't like Miyabi. I don't like this guy. And the only one I do like is Ellen Joe. So when Ellen Joe reruns with her buffs and all that, I'll have a pretty good Ellen Joe team. I think I'm just gonna run her plus him, and then build her on a pen ratio set. So just a bunch of pen ratio stuff, so she can pair with Rina. She's missing out on Rina's like 10% shock damage, but it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Which is kind of funny that like she's a maid from the whatever the Victoria housekeeping, which obviously these two, this guy and she is. But her extra passive doesn't synergize with them. Like, it only synergizes with anyone outside of her faction, because there's no other electric person in her own faction. So I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, so I'll probably do that when I get Ellen. They don't have ice coverage. It'll be decent. It won't be amazing, but it'll be decent. I don't like playing Sokaku. If you're wondering why I'm going with her instead of Sokaku, which probably is the better option, it's because I don't like Sokaku. I don't care. But yeah, Lycone, I like Lycone. I like her, so... That's going to be what the Ellen Joe team is, and that's basically where I'm at. Is all my coverage is good except for, what did I say? Yeah, no, I think that's it. That's all my coverage is solid. I have physical, fire. Okay, so here now, this is the end of the video. Nobody sticks around this long anyway, so I'm just going to start talking about some of the banners a little bit. For one, I'm like, even as I'm talking right now, I'm very, what's the word? I'm really eager to pull on this using the rest of this polychrome up here, or this monochrome. But I'm not going to. I'm actually going to go to the market and just buy. I was saving that there in case I got Alice, and then I could just buy both of their skins together. But fortunately, I'm not going to get Alice, so I'll have to wait till she reruns, then buy this at full price later. It's not that big a deal, but you know, it is what it is. Actually, that's not where I wanted to go. So let's talk now for a second on these banners. One of the reasons I'm really I really kind of want to use this monochrome is because there's no one's really coming after Alice that I care too much about. That's gonna really change enough of my account to really matter. So obviously I'm pulling for Alice because she does pretty well synergize with Jane Doe, but I can live without her, so I'm just gonna not worry about it. So like I said, I'm not gonna use this for currency. I'll just get her on the rerun. Yanagi, she's fine, but she does the similar thing to what Alice does. But Alice does it better with Jane, and that's all I need. Because if I'm going to get Yanagi, I'm not going to solo Yanagi because I don't like Yanagi enough to solo her. And I already have too much electrical coverage, right? So getting another electrical unit for that. Now, I already have too much physical coverage, clearly. But I like Jane so much that I would rather just get her to help Jane. And, you know, like I said, get another best in slot for Jane. But like I said, it's fine. I don't need it. Again, too much coverage in one direction isn't good. The other reason is with her, I can get her and I can give her the Weeping Gemini instead of her weapon. The Weeping Gemini isn't better than her weapon. Her weapon is better, but it's good enough, right, to run her, and then maybe next time she comes back, I'll get her weapon. But obviously, I don't have enough to pity her, let alone her and her weapon. So it's out of the question. It's just the fact that she can run on Weeping Gemini isn't bad, and I'm just gonna, you know, it's a good option to stick on her, and she's gonna be, I don't know, maybe 90% of her potential is gonna be covered by that. The other thing is, obviously, Yanagi's weapon, she kind of needs her weapon if she's gonna main her, and if you're gonna sub her, it doesn't really matter. Do I have any summons here? Nope. So anyway, going back to what I was talking about. Let's see, if we go here, no, it's in the announcements. The notices. So what's coming next is Seed and Orpheus. I might make a dedicated video to that. But for now, the first banner we're getting is Seed, who's coming with what's her name? Trigger. Now, originally, for anybody who's seen the other videos, my plan was to pull for Orpheus. Like, if I didn't get Alice, I would go for Orpheus. But I'm at the point where I think I might nix that plan for two reasons. For one, Orpheus... Who's coming with Orpheus? I forgot who the unit coming with Orpheus is. Does it have it here anywhere? Nope. I think it's... Oh, here. Oh, this is awesome. No, this doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't help me. Cancel, go back. Anyway, the point being that one of the reasons why I'm changing, I might not summon for Orpheus. I'll probably summon for her, but I'm not going to, I'm not going to hit her, I don't think. The question is, do I want to go with Seed or Orpheus? I'm going with Orpheus because, for one, if you guys have seen, I'm sure you guys have all seen videos with Seed in them. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if I pull for Seed, there's no way I'm dodging the accusations or the allegations. Like, this... It's just not. And I'm not going with that. So, but for a bigger reason, her gameplay with Ambi, I don't know. It doesn't sound very interesting. Obviously, she feeds Ambi energy, and then she feeds off of Ambi's bonuses plus the attack buff and the bonuses and stuff like that. But playing back and forth between the two, it doesn't sound super interesting to me. It doesn't sound like a super big improvement overrunning Nicole with her defense shred and the astral voice set that she has on. Because if you run Sambi with her, you're losing the astral voice set. So her buffs need to outmatch that, which they might. I'm not gonna say they don't, but they might. It's just as much as I like quick swap, the way they're set up and the way the gameplay I've seen doesn't look super interesting to me because I like having Sambi be the main runner. If you guys see me play. Obviously, Sambi with Nicole, it looks probably similar to the way you play Seed and Ambi, but Nicole fills in dead space for Sambi. So whenever you see me do the basic attack, where she zips back and forth, then she jumps over, that's a place for Nicole to come in, pop her thing, and then just leave. Like, she doesn't need to take any extra field time, and then Sambi proceeds to do what she's doing. And Seed takes up too much field time for all her stuff. And I don't really like Seed. She just looks kind of whatever. So anyway, the point being is I'm not summoning for Seed, right? That was a long-winded explanation for that. Because not only that, but I also have to summon for her weapon, and I don't really want to summon for that weapon either. It's just, no, I don't care. I'm not going to have the resources. The next plan is to save this entire patch until Orphe comes out. I forgot. I'm going to go search up, actually, real quick, who's coming with Orphe. I'll pause this and I'll come back. So you guys don't have to listen to me. Okay, we're back now. So Orpheus is coming with Evelyn, which, again, those are 2 fire units. For some reason, the fire units in this game are just not... They're not fire, man. I don't know what I'm to tell you. It's just not super interesting. Let's go look here. Again, we've got Kaleda. Don't care about. We've got Bernice and Evelyn. And that's it. Well, obviously Lighter. Lighter's usefulness comes from the fact that he makes ice units a lot better. Like, the ice meta in this game is real, and his main thing is that he buffs ice more. And then obviously we have Jifufu, which, again, who cares? So anyway, the point being that Evelyn is coming with her. And obviously I think Orpheus might be good for her, but one of the things I realized was we're starting to see more units. Apparently some of the people, I don't play on the test server or anything like that. Obviously I don't have footage and I never do any of that stuff. I've got like 70 subscribers, right? It's not that big a deal. They're not going to give me an invitation to that. But I don't have access to that stuff, but a lot of people who do have access to that stuff, they are playing and they're noticing that new bosses are coming with more defense. Which obviously was we kind of knew this was coming because of the rupture agents and their true damage, and they just ignore all the defense stat. So in general, I think having defense shred is slightly more important. This is all basically just to get around to saying that I might just stick with Nicole at the end of the day. Having her defense shred on her thing is probably better than having Seed. She has no defense shred. She has a lot of multipliers and all this damage or whatever. But so, like, I think it just ends up evening out, especially if you know how to play Nicole. Like, a lot of people want Seed for Sambi because they don't really know or want to play Nicole. But if you know how to play Nicole, I'm pretty sure she's going to do comparable damage, especially with, again, Astral Voice plus the shred plus the, if you can get more copies than I do of her. Like, once you max out her weapon sub passive, whatever, her little whatevers, and once you max out her thing here and she gets the 15% crit chance, you might be kind of close. I don't know, we'll see. I'd like to see the numbers when Seed comes out, like how she compares damage wise. I think obviously Seed's gonna outperform Nicole in the long run because she's a 6-star or a 5-star over a 4-star, or S rank over A rank. But the point being is that, like, for my account, Seed isn't super useful, right? So the reason I bring that up is because I might actually,
My services are
for me, the biggest benefit might actually just be pulling. Oh, come on. Pulling for Trigger in this instance. The thing with Trigger, as out of all the units that I have, Trigger's S1 or her M1, and they're M1s in this game. Her M1 in this game is ridiculous. Yeah, and that's basically all there is to say. So I think combined with the fact that Nicole is on this banner means that I'll be able to pull Trigger, maybe, right? I'm close to the pity, and I don't think I'll have enough to go to a second pity. So if I lose the 50-50, it's basically over. So that's kind of, that's what's up with that. And then hopefully I get some Nicoles along the way to really finally max out my Nicole. But let's go look at Trigger's thing here. Trigger's M1 is ridiculous. There's just so many things stacked on here. First of all, the core passive gets you 20% more DPS, right? Or not DPS, but more damage percentage. You just get a flat 20% damage boost. Like, that's ridiculous. Then, when you activate her basic attack, the cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds. So every time, it shortens how often she basic attacks off field, I think. Her little whatever. Is it that? Yeah, I think it's that harmonizing shot, the one that shoots with you. So you get more DPS from that. It's not a whole lot, obviously. We've talked before. Trigger's damage is like, you can try to make Trigger damage good, but it's just not going to happen. And finally, the other thing is she gets more purge per sniper stance shot, and on top of that, she holds more purge, which means that you have to switch to her even less. She takes up less of your time, right? Which is just, to me, fantastic. One of the things that people have said is the King of the Summit might be overcapping on crit damage just because of how much I'm saturating that stat. Because between this and Sambi, and I kind of agree a little bit. So what I might end up doing, one of the things that you lose some DPS with is every so often you have to switch to Trigger to activate her skill to increase the buff on this, right? But what if I just put her on Astral Voice so that she gives out her buffs whenever, whenever she needs to give out her buffs, she gives them out just as soon as people are quick swapping. And if anybody has seen my gameplay with Sambi and Trigger, you know I'm quick swapping like crazy. The other thing is, however, if I put Astral Voice on her, that means I can put the new set on her, which gives her an 18% damage bonus to the entire team, right? Instead of just this only gives one person. So this gives 24% to Sambi, plus the new set gives the entire team 18% damage bonus on Nicole. And Nicole, I think it triggers on EX special. Nicole EX specials a lot, so it'll stay up constantly. Not to mention you can run that with this, and then make sure this is 20% plus that new set is also another 20%. So depending on if I get any more weapons or whatever, I might be able to swap this energy regen to like an attack percentage or something like that, and get a little bit more damage out of her that way as well. But the main point is that hopefully, with any luck, I'll be able to hit this M6, and this is another 15%. So not only are we getting more damage from triggers, just trigger in general, because if I get her M1, but hopefully along the way we get this is another 15% damage, 15 crit chance. Then what else? The other thing is, like I said, I might swap her over on that other set. I still kind of like the King of the Summit. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I'll just play with both of them and we'll test some DPS stuff. Somebody might be able to tell me. But anyway, the point being is that's that. When Orpheus comes out, if I don't get Trigger, if I miss the 50-50 on Trigger and I don't manage to get her off of like before hitting Pity the second time around, going around that loop, I'll probably pull for Orpheus if I end up getting Orpheus. The other thing with Orpheus is if I pull for Orpheus, I have to get her weapon as well, because otherwise she's going to be useless. Now, one of the other points that I want to stress here is that the reason I like Nicole is because, like I mentioned earlier, is that we're getting a lot of defense, like higher defense scaling units are coming in. So they're kind of curbing the HP inflation by just throwing defense at it and then hiding the basically, if you guys don't know anything about like RPGs or anything, it's called EHP, effective health. So if a dude has 100 HP, just throw a number out. If a dude has 100 HP and he has, let's say, 50 defense, and let's say the game works around like, 50 defense means you're reducing 50% damage. If he has 50 defense in that scenario, he technically has 100 health points, right? Effective health points. You have to deal 200 damage to kill that enemy, even though his HP bar says 100. So I think what they're doing to fix they're not actually fixing anything, right? But they're shifting. Like if a boss has like 2 million HP right now in this game, I don't know what the HP values in this game are, so you guys can correct me. But if a boss has 2 million HP, instead of scaling that HP up, and now, next couple patches he's up to 4 million, and people run around crying about how, no, this is crazy, the HP inflation is getting out of hand. Instead of doing that, we can just bump up their defenses so that the HP stays at 2 million, the defenses go up, so the effective health ends up going up anyway. So I think that's probably what they're going to end up doing. But the point being that, like, defense shred is going to start to be more and more prevalent, more and more significant a thing later on. One of the things with Orpheus was I thought her weapon defense shredded the enemy or something like that. We'll see when Orpheus comes out 100%. But from some of the stuff I've been looking at, I think she gives herself defense shred. So if I'm running Orpheus, Sambi, Trigger's hitting a 25% defense shred on the boss. Orpheus, it gives herself like 25% or something like that, which is only 50% for one unit, right? Whereas Nicole, she doesn't do a lot of damage, but she's giving herself that 65% defense shred when you add the 40 to the 25 of Trigger. Trigger's getting that 60% defense shred, and then obviously Sammy's getting that 65% defense shred. So I think ultimately I'm just going to go with that. So what I'm basically this boils down to is that the next two patches are kind of filler patches for me because I'm not getting anything new. Like I said, I'm not getting Seed. I don't care. I'm probably not going to get Orpheus. If I get Trigger, I'm not getting Orpheus. If I don't get Trigger, I might get Orpheus. But then again, if I get Orpheus, I have to get her weapon. Where Trigger, just saves me. If I get her by the time, you know, if I get her, if I don't lose the 50-50, it's only taking me 31 summons to get her, and that boosts my account's damage by quite a bit. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So if you guys don't see a lot of units for a while, that's going to be why. So the other thing is, like I said, I'm going to have to go spend a little bit of money to buy the extra pack so I can go get the skin for Yuzuha, and then I don't have to worry about that polychrome anymore. Like I said, I really wish I could have pulled Alice, because if I pulled Alice, that means I could just skip everything for the next like few patches, because there's nothing there that's important to this account. Aside from, like I said, I'm missing ice coverage, but a lot of the bosses have dual weaknesses. Like if he's ice weak, sometimes he's physical weak, and Jane can cover that, right? If he's fire weak, I think sometimes the fire one is also physical weak. I'm not entirely sure, but you know what I mean. Like a lot of times they have dual weaknesses, and if you don't have ice, you can kind of balance that out with the other elements as well. So that's kind of how I've played it. Like I haven't had a lot of trouble because I have so many things that balance out around it. So my account's pretty solid for now. No, I'm not going to spend more money to buy more summons. It's a waste of money. Don't do that. Like I said, you can get all these units for free, and you can even get better ones. Not necessarily better ones, but you can get the ones you like. Like instead of, like here's the thing. Here's this. Look at my account and all of the summons. I had to waste a pity on, well, not waste, but I had to use a pity on Sambi, on her weapon, and then I had to use a pity on Trigger, and then Trigger's weapon, and now I'm about to use another pity on Trigger as well. That's like 5 units to make, you know, to make Sambi decent. If you had just summoned for Miyabi, you'd be rolling in summons right now. You could just summon whatever you wanted, right? Because she covers so much and does so much damage that you're not like, oh, I have to summon this to kind of patch up this unit. I have to summon this to patch up this other unit. She by herself carries an entire team. And then if your favorite unit was like, I don't know, Vlad or Hugo, your favorite unit is Hugo. That means, well, you're not going to do. The point being is if you like Seed or whatever, you know, you could go do that other thing and not worry about whatever, because you have, you know, infinite coverage with her because she covers everything. Like even Ice Weak enemies, she destroys them. She may not anymore, but you know what I mean? Like she's just such a good unit that like it doesn't matter. But this, like your account, I'm just trying to stress that your account can be a lot better than mine, right? So instead of going for Jane, you had just saved all your polychromes. You went for Alice. Like if you replace Alice in this team, so it's Alice and like Yuzuha, instead of Jane and Yuzuha, you'd be way better off. Like those two can do more damage than Jane and Yuzuha can do, because Jane's you know, a first gen unit basically is what you can call it. So anyway, the point being is I'm trying to show you guys that if you're free to play, you don't have to spend money, because your account could look a lot better than mine. My account is kind of purposely hindered because I like Sambi. I went in for Sambi. I like Jane. I went in for Jane despite her not being super like great or whatever. But yeah, so you know, just realize that if you're smarter with your resources, you'd be a lot better off than my account. Just because all the stuff I've needed to summon for this. But anyway, so that's it for today's video. There might be I don't know what the next content for Zenless I'm gonna make is. There's a lot of videos I have to go make for Wuthering Waves, but for now, Zenless, this is kind of it for now. Yeah, so see you guys next time.